Hi, this is Jeff Evans taking you through the Graze office store, the sample assessment on the AT website. This is the third and final video. Just a couple of things I should have noted earlier on, although bear in mind I imagine you'll be using this for practice, is on page 2 of the assessment it does tell you how to save the various documents. So for example, it says your name is Simon White and your AAT number is. So it's just basically making sure that you save all the documents that you're going to be saving with, well, as it says really. So evidence 1, Simon White, and then your number. What we tend to do is to create a folder. So before you actually sit the assessment, create yourself a folder, probably on the desktop, with those details, with your name and AAT number. And then when you're saving all the various documents into it, you can then upload it onto the website later. We tend to zip it, so create a zip file with all of the documents in that you need, and then upload it onto the AT website once you finish the actual assessment. So for the final video now, we're going to take you through task 12, which is the bank reconciliation, and then the various reports. So again, as I said before, we're going to save the reports into the particular folder that I've created. So, and back to it as I said before, so we're going to Sage, so open it up, and again wherever I've been I've saved it up to task 11 on either my hard drive or on the disk pen, and so I just open whichever one's up on the Sage document at this moment in time. So remember to open up where we left off, and we go on to File and Restore. So wherever we are, so File and Restore, and then find where your last task is. So I saved it as you see here, so I've saved it to task 3. I could also, as I've said before, I could start from there again, so I've saved up to task 3 on that one, and then I can do all the various tasks. I say it's a good idea to save at various stages once you feel confident and competent in certain things, and then you can just move on. Okay, so I'm going to do from task 11, as I said, so I'll open it up, click OK. So it's going to restore all the information. I'll just go on to customers. Okay. As I always say, we just need to make sure you check the date. So the program date has gone back to the default. So go on to settings, change the program date, and the date was the 30th of June 2018. Okay. Right. So as far as bank reconciliation is concerned, I've gone to obviously to the bank, and I'm going to click on reconcile. So click on the bank reconcile here on this button, and then it gives us the statement reference. I'm just going to call that bank statement. Let's say 30th of June 2018. This is important now. You need to make sure you check the ending balance. So according to the ending balance on the bank statement on page 12, you'll see that it's not the same as I've got here. So I need to change it to the ending balance. And the ending balance is 21263.79. Okay. Then it's worthwhile just having a look at the assessment just to see if there's any interest earned or there's any bank charges. So we'll have a look at the bank statement. There's no interest earned. If there was, we could put it in here, but there are bank charges. So on the 28th of June we've got bank charges of £14, so I might as well put that in now whilst I'm on this screen. So we're going to account charges, 30th of June. The nominal code is, there is one for bank charges, so I'll just show you. So bank charges, no VAT, that's correct. So click OK, and then you'll see that the the bank charges have now occurred in the bottom of this particular table. Okay, as you do when you're doing bookkeeping controls. So now we're going to tick off what's on the bank statement, and also I suppose in our bank in relation to Sage. So the first one we've got is 600, which is the rent. So we're going to click on that one and match it because that's there. 425566, that one's there. So match. So I'm just clicking on each of them that are on that bank statement and then matching them up accordingly. The delivery driver's wages, it says 6,200, and on the bank statement is £6,225.95. That's the adjustment that we made on the journal. I think it was on the previous task. So you'll notice you've got 6,200 there, and then a bit further down you've got that correction, wages of 2,595, and you'll see the amount has been matched. So now I'll match that over. Then we've got 1320 as a payment, so match that one. Receipts, that's fine, so match and match. 4216, match, match, and then 450. Okay, you'll notice that at this point the statement should match, and it doesn't. It's £101 out. So I'll just have a look at the bank statement to identify that why that is, and we can see that on the 27th of June we've got a direct debit for electricity for £101. So what I can do at this point, I'm just going to save it. So it'll save what we've done so far, and then go back to do that bank payment to the electricity of the direct debit. So bank payments on the 27th of June. References, I'll just put bank rec. The nominal code is electricity. There will be one set up. There we go, 7200. So electricity, and here I'll just put bank statement. And the amount is £101, no VAT. And save it. Okay, so we've processed that payment for the electricity now, and if we go back onto the reconcile, it will say do you want to use the saved, which we do, and then you'll notice that that payment has now is now showing up in the box on the top. So therefore I can now click on the bank statement and match it, and then you'll see at that point that we've got a match. So we can see that the match balance and the statement balance is correct. It does say in the task that it says save a screenshot of the bank reconciliation. You will be provided with the required evidence for task number 13. So it does want evidence that you've done the bank reconciliation. So you'd have to do a screen print. So I'll just show you. So then onto Word. So I've got lots of Word documents opened. So I've done the print screen and then paste it. Okay, I could tidy it up if I want to, but I think that will be fine as it is, but I'll do it anyway. So I could crop it. Okay, you could clean it up a bit more if you wanted to, but anyway, for this purpose I'm just showing you how you would go about it, and then you would save this, go back, have a look what evidence that one. That's evidence 6 with your name and AAT number, as you notice on page 13 when it's asking for the various documents. So that's what you would do, save it into your folder that you've created, as I said before, and then at this point, once you've got it reconciled or balanced, as I said, then you can just click reconcile. I will point out at this point that if it doesn't balance and you've got some corrections to make, then you can make those corrections just by saving it. Go back to identify what those corrections need to be made, make them, and then go back and do the adjustments. I have said earlier on that one of the things that does tend to happen, certainly when my students are doing it, is that when they've put that £600 direct debit in, they forgot to take the tax off. So therefore it sometimes has the tax included on that, which means it's not going to balance. Or you'll find that maybe the Faster Chums payment, that was one without, so that included VAT, that the students have added VAT to it. Again, as I said before, you can go back into the system and make corrections and put those things right, so saving it each time and then come back to reconcile. Okay, so on that point I'm going to reconcile the bank statement, and that's task 12 that's now finished. And then finally, if we go on to task 13, I just want to show you how to do the reports. Again, you'll have to save them in the way that it's telling you to save them. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you how you can access them. The first one says about all documents, a document showing all transactions with each customer during June 2018. It wants a document that shows the balance owed for each customer as at the 30th of June. The following information must be evidenced within these documents, so the customer's name and the account code. For this particular task, I tend to do evidence 1A and 1B together, and I'll show you why. So if I go on to customers, I'm going to change the view, and I'm in customers. I'm going to go to customer reports, and I want customer activity, and I want detailed customer activity. So this one, you've got all various reports you can have here, but I like the detailed customer activity. And then I'm going to export it, and I'll call this one evidence 1A and 1B, and then save it. You'll notice I've got it in my folder here, but you've got it in yours. Click OK. You see the end date is the 30th of the 6th. Again, a common mistake for students who have not set that correctly, or they've not set it, say, to the 1st of June, then you'll not get all of the transactions. So just make sure that it covers to the end of our particular period. So click OK. I'll just show you that. In fact, I'll show you that on the, so you can see it. I have saved it as well, but this is what I've saved. So you can see the reason why we do it together, because you've got all the information that you need after the customer activity report. You've got the customer name, and you've got the customer account code, and you've also got the amount that's still outstanding. So credit limits, which we didn't have, but outstanding is 89.26. So again, we tend to save that as one document, evidence 1A and 1B. So that's the one for the customers. And now we'll do the same process with reference to the suppliers. So again, if I close that and then go back to suppliers, and this time supplier reports, and on supplier activity, and again I want the supplier activity a detailed report. This time I'll show you what it looks like before we actually print it off. So again, same situation where you've got the supplier's name, the supplier's account number, how much money is still outstanding, and then so on and so forth. So at this point I could export it from there, and I say I'll give that evidence 2A and 2B, and then close. Third part is the audit trail, so it wants to show an audit trail showing all details of all transactions, including details of receipts, payments, so on and so forth. So this one is evidence 3. So again, this time I'm going to go on to settings, no, not I'm going to go on to modules, I'm going to go on to financials, and I'm going to go on to reports. So modules, financials and reports. and this one wants an audit trail. So we'll see we've got an audit trail in the reports, and again I'll go for the detailed one, which is a bit further down. So I've got the detailed audit report here that shows all the various transactions. Again, I'll show it you. So it goes and provides an audit trail of all of the information that you have inputs. So when we did the bank reconciliation, so on and so forth, so all of the information is in there. And again, I'll export that one, and now that one is evidence 3. But again, you'd have your name and AAT number. Okay. Next report is the trial balance. So I'm still in the financials, and we'll do the trial balance for evidence 4. So again, reports, trial balance, and we'll do a period end trial balance. At this point it's worthwhile just checking to make sure it's right. I know that I've done it so often, it's 82,441.54, so no, that's correct. There's no suspense accounts in there, so I know everything's fine when it comes to the trial balance. And I'm going to export it, and this one will be evidence 4. Name, AT number, so on and so forth. Okay, so that one's saved. So we've done the trial balance, and you'll have the screenshot of the recurring entry that we did a while ago, and you'll also have a screenshot of the bank reconciliation. It's at that point, once you've done all your reports, is you would then need to upload them onto the website or onto secure access when you're doing the assessment. Just another thing which I didn't do at the beginning, which I think is worthwhile doing, just to when you actually set up the company name. So and we set up as the Graze office store. It's sometimes worthwhile just putting your name in. I mean, we used to do it when we used to do Sage in the old days. Just if you save it, then each of your reports, so when you're actually setting up the company accounts and you set it as a Graze office store with your name, then each of the reports that you put in will have your name on. I mean, they are uploaded on the AT website, so obviously from yourself anyway. But again, I'll just show you one of those customer activity reports that's now got my name on it. You'll see it's got my name on the top. Just something to think about when you're setting up the accounts. Okay, that's it. So thanks very much, and the very best of luck.